and begin. So I'll call the meeting to order. Alan, if you'll do the roll call.
Bixley?
Yes.
Riley? Yes. Stowe?
Okay, let's look at the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there, what, how far did they go back?
We've got
2 minutes,
3
2
minutes.
months.
We've got 3 meetings.
So we need
We got
two.
January 16th was a regular meeting, then we got 2 specials. It was January 22nd, February 13th.
Okay.
We didn't meet March. I was out of town, but I.
No,
No. Because you were gone, we just pulled the cord. Okay. Well, looky here, on the 22nd, look who made the motion to approve the agreement between the Avard Rail Authority and Myers Engineering.
So,
Wow.
We're gonna approve the timeline of when it's gonna take them to get the bids out.
should ask for a timeline, yeah.
Well, you think when you sign a contract with somebody that they're gonna get on something? I mean, for that kind of money, don't you? Or am I mistaken here?
Well, this is a little bit of a government project, which changes the whole complexion.
No, it doesn't. It's still a bid, it still has to go out, we still have to have people do it. So what I'm saying is the longer he drags his feet, the less the chance there is the government money even being there, first of all.
I will visit with you.
All right. Tell me what.
Well, do we approve all 3 of these at once, or? do we-
Separate,
Separate.
separate.
Okay,
I'll
so,
make a motion, we approve the minutes from January 16th.
okay, any second,
I'll second it.
roll call?
Bixley?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll move we approve the minutes of January 22nd.
I'll second.
Bixley?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
Yes. I'll make a motion, we approve the February 13th special meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Riley?
Yes.
Bixley?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna jump down to item number 5, come back to item 4, Todd gets here. Help me out here, Sonia, Jeremy, on that. Where are we on that premium plan for internet domains? Is that just a deal we need to do, it's automatic with our domain name?
That was part of the, I don't know what you guys decided, I guess I have to look back through the minutes, but that was part of what,
Yeah, you guys have picked a name, didn't you?
Yes.
what you were keeping. I don't know if you,
Who helped us on that? What?
the one that
Greg?
isn't doing the consulting anymore.
Greg,
Yeah, Greg. Greg was here.
you still here?
Yeah, I don't think he is anymore.
Okay.
It should be, I mean, you'd think it would be, as many minutes.
I
as
knew
we
there
got.
was somebody
But-
smart.
but-
It might have
No.
been in December.
It might have been.
Yeah, oh, well.
Okay, what is this? Did you get a bill, Sonia, or
No.
It was just,
why is it on here then? Or is there anything?
it was just the whole thing with Josh and Emblem, and he said, these are the ones that you have reserved, which one do you want to keep?
Yep,
Oh, yeah, I remember discussing which ones we wanted to keep.
I remember too.
I think it was just only
Did we
one.
not follow through on?
I don't know, it wasn't very much money to go ahead and keep them.
Yes.
I don't have any idea.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Thank you.
What a nice guy.
I guess we need to table that.
Well, is it supposed to be on there?
Well, I don't know.
Was it on there from before?
When we get the selections and we picked one, didn't we?
We actually
Took a
did
couple.
couple because it was,
Yeah.
so I don't
remember we.
think unless we
I don't have
know,
this minutes.
I
But
don't
I
either.
think in your situation, that if you have not renewed it, which would have been through Josh, it's probably already released. Which means,
But that doesn't mean.
The
unless
old-
somebody picked it up and decided to run with it, you just need to go and reserve it. But I don't know what you all, I don't remember what you all decided. If it was avardrailport.com or.
Okay, let's table that. Todd, do you remember anything on that?
Hello.
Or on the internet, domain names, we took a couple. And I guess we need to apply for it. Is that what you're thinking, Sonia?
Is this something that you want me to do?
Well,
Okay.
could you,
Let me
or
see
could
what you
Jeremy
decide.
do it?
I will just go back to Josh with Emblem and ask him. That's what
I'm
I'll
going back to your
do.
minutes and look and see what.
Well, the only thing with him, he's just got the one name.
I think we,
No, we had all of them and then they billed us through there and we paid it.
Okay, so we're good.
No, I don't know if you told them to, I'm having to look and see what you told them to do in December.
Well, Shelley, I'm dying to know what's in here, but I'm waiting.
Wait.
Should we pass those out, or what? Are you ready?
Yeah.
What about Mr. Tire Man down there, is he ready? Well, come down here and just get what you want.
Grab me one, please. Grab me some.
Spinach chicken,
Jimmy Ray, turkey.
Turkey.
let's see, what's the Jimmy Ray?
Barbecue.
It's like a BLT with kind of spicy.
What's the Jimmy Ray?
Yeah.
What's the Mary?
Chicken salad.
Okay.
Jimmy Ray.
Jimmy Ray.
that's a video.
And here is
Spinach
spinach chicken.
Very good. You will enjoy it.
I was gonna try to be good with the salad. That's one's the salad. I'll take what's left over.
Thank you, Mr. Holder.
Here's salad.
I'm
You
sorry?
want
Thank you.
ladies first.
I'll take whatever nobody else is choosing.
There's one salad.
Sorry, I was late.
There's a Mary, a Jimmy, and a salad. I'll let you choose first, and then I'll decide what.
I would prefer the Jimmy, but I am not picky.
That's perfect,
All
because
right.
I think I wanna try to eat healthy.
I
I'm
thought I
going
could
with
get it
the
all.
salad. There's a lot though, so I don't know where the healthy stops and then the gluttony starts, but. What's the B? Is B balsamic?
Probably. Looks like it. Opened up, you'll be able to tell.
You like it,
Yeah, I smell it. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Free.
You don't eat
touched it.
tomatoes?
Well,
What's wrong with you?
I actually passed it on to some of my grandkids that want tomatoes.
Oh,
I
Lord.
think-
Quite proud of
I
myself.
think we sent Josh an email regarding the internet. and everything.
Well, but I
I
don't
don't think
think,
it went much further though on
Sure.
what to do.
well, we picked out the names.
I remember that.
Yeah, we just said,
There's like 3 or 4 that,
yeah, I don't think Josh has anything more to do with it. And so I guess she's gonna find out if there's any.
Yeah.
All right.
We had to say this big house.
You got that?
What is your wrong to go ahead and let Todd discuss the finance report?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we can go right back to that.
We're gonna go back to item number 4. Well, Sonia's working on item 5. And so, Todd, would you you like to update us on anything?
No, I mean, there's, I'll answer questions, but there's nothing in there.
Right.
Pretty sure we,
Oh.
We're ready to get our first check back from Commerce. Todd, we'll talk about that a little later. See how we want to handle that, like in paying Myers Engineering.
yeah, I don't know anything about any of that. I haven't, none of that's come to me, so hopefully somebody knows.
I do.
Okay.
I called Commerce. They asked about it.
Thank you.
Oh, I read that. It says it's still valid. Did you have it back?
Anything, Todd, that's just same old?
Right, I was looking on, here. We had to pay our insurance, our annual insurance.
Oh, hey, you did better. I just got the Kleenexes.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So we go ahead with the motion then, Todd?
Yeah, there's nothing, I don't, unless somebody's got a question.
Okay, do we have any questions on the finance report?
I don't.
Hearing none, accept the motion to approve the finance report.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Holder? Roll call.
Yes.
Bixler?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
Yes.
Sonny, were you able to find anything?
just in November where you guys voted to cease paying them. I don't have my handwritten minutes. So it was in November. When you guys,
What about when we selected the names?
no, it's not in the minutes. So I said it'd be handwritten, I didn't.
You want me to go find something, like to see if I have an email from Josh? Maybe something like that. I'm gonna check.
Okay. Will you?
It says, Jeremy had emailed Josh. So I don't know.
Wasn't it?
Great.
Greg,
He came up, he Googled up something.
yeah, because you can get it from a lot of different places, but Jeremy had followed up with Josh
Okay.
in January. And Josh was supposed to send him something back, and I don't know if he got it or not. I don't think he's,
Okay.
that's something.
Well, Jeremy's gone. We'll move to jump to item 7, because item 6 is Jeremy. Okay. Yeah, give them about me, Jeremy, here for this one, but the synopsis of this, Scott, is that we incurred our first bill for Myers Engineering. Does everybody have a copy of that first bill? Or do I just don't know that?
I think it's forwarded it to everybody,
Yes.
but not printed for everybody.
Yes. $21,000, so there's some hoops to jump through. And going through Commerce to get the money. So Jeremy, he knows the protocol to do it. He triggered it, and we're waiting for it to be delivered to the bank. And,
So, let me get this straight. Just so I know.
yes,
What exactly has Bill Myers done to this point? Is it on the invoice?
yep,
Can I see that?
you bet.
Thank you.
So Jeremy sent the bill to, the invoice to the Commerce to get the money.
Yes.
Right.
And there's some protocol
Yes.
to do it.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, we're waiting, and Bill has been very patient with us on this. And we appreciate him being patient with us. But he's worked with Commerce before, it's not on our side, so, I don't know myself the protocol, Sonia and Todd, how, like, when that's delivered to the bank, will one of you get notice of it, or do you, I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I can call and make sure we get those.
Okay, and then you will, take care of the bill. Jeremy, why don't you briefly, tell the board the protocol that goes in, so they'll be aware of it as we go forward.
Or,
On the, when we get bills for these projects, like Myers sending us bills.
yeah, so, we experimented with the first one, the invoice was sent. When the invoice is sent, then you go to okgrants.gov, which is actually Department of Commerce system, it's not related to grants.gov, it's just the OK Commerce, OK Grants is Department of Commerce. And you submit the invoice through their system, and that's how the process goes. There is a history that you can see. So basically, I submitted it. It went to the OMES, where Jared Cooper does an approval. He submits to the accounting group. Accounting submits to OMES. OMES is what usually takes the longest. When OMES is done and approves it, it's to go into the bank account that was given. And then I would assume they would give a notification that it is there. Probably they'll give it to me because that's my ID, but I have not received one. I called the facilitator of the whole system of grants.gov, and he talked me through the whole process of what happens. And he said that there was a time period of like 10 days where it was sitting in accounting at the Department of Commerce, but that's not normal. That usually would go through quicker. So the process of it I'm looking at is within a month's time period, it should be in the account and released, which normally with Department of Commerce and OMES especially, not really Department of Commerce themselves, but OMES, it can take usually up to 3 months before that happens. And talking to Myers Engineering, they're aware of that. They're just curious and said that they just on a monthly basis will contact us and ask if the invoice has been paid or you know where they're at on it. And I don't think it's going to be something that's like the normal other grants that have been out there. They would take 3 months, sometimes as far as 6 months. So it's
Slow process.
yeah, a very slow process, but I think they're quicker with the ARPA ones because they know there's a time crunch, but especially more so with others. Myers Engineering has dealt with it before, so they're more understanding. But it should be coming at any time, again, OMES.
So, Sonia, do you see any problems in this, or?
There's nothing I can do about it.
Well, but I mean, you know, protocol, how's it gonna happen, and,
We're not paying him until we receive money, so
but you'll get notice and,
I will call and make sure that I get notice.
okay.
So who's approving the invoice?
The invoice itself, the one they had listed as approval was Jared Cooper.
The invoice that we're gonna pay?
The invoice that we submitted from Myers Engineering and our request for them to pay the invoice, that went through Jared Cooper first. And then accounting, the Department of Commerce accounting, and then OMS. So it kind of is a three-stage that goes.
Are you wondering whether we need to have a motion to approve it, or
Well,
Todd?
okay, so my thought would be if we are the recipient of the grant, then somehow it got to in Jared Cooper's hands that we wanted it paid, because I think the liability comes back to us as the grant recipient as to approve that first before it goes to Jared Cooper. And then Jared Cooper gives his seal of approval and then it comes back. That's how I would see it, but I'm sure this is my first rodeo, so I don't know.
Well, I think we need to approve it at some point before the funds are paid to the engineering firm. And as long as we do that, we could always send that money back if we had to, you know. But I hate to delay the process of, you know, having to us have a meeting to approve it before we ask for those funds. So I think as long as we approve this invoice before we pay the engineering firm, that I agree with you. I think at some point we need to do that. And I know that seems a little bit, well, why wouldn't you approve it before you ask for reimbursement?
I see your
Right.
point. My biggest
That's
problem
what we
is,
do, we ask
who's,
before
are we taking responsibility that the work's been done? I'm not questioning whether it has, whether it doesn't. Are we taking responsibility by approving it after it's been approved from Commerce that the work's been done?
And I think that's the thing that, yes, we do need to approve that. I just think we have to approve it before we spend those funds.
If you want my suggestion, just because I talked to Myers Engineering, they're fine, they understand that it could take 3 months. So my thought would be if you get an invoice, it makes more sense that you as a board would approve it first, like, okay, yeah, they did this, and then we submit it on. Because it looks like it's gonna be about a month for it to take. So it'll be just like a monthly cycle each time. And Myers Engineer would probably get used to the fact that it'll be about 1 to 2 months that they will get their invoice. And that way you prevent any having to give it back situation. It would skip that process.
And I don't think any of it will be, but I
So
mean,
I'm fine with appointing Stan, since you're in the middle of it, to approve that and send it on. I just think we ought to have our hands on it before we submit it to Jared Cooper
Well,
for.
like we did in the board, who sent that out? Did the board get a copy of that?
The board got a copy of it, but you guys did not meet in March.
Right. Well, I want the board to get a copy of every invoice.
Okay.
Because I don't want, I mean, it's a trust factor. We hired Myers. There's not gonna be any of us go out there, like, what does it say on that?
survey,
Survey.
Survey.
staking.
Yeah,
And I mean, there's no way to go see if that, I mean.
yeah, that's what I think on that one. And-
On that one. Yeah, the later ones are a little easier to go do an
Well, if
inspection.
it's been surveyed, there's a survey somewhere, right? Am I correct?
Well, you could have,
It's only
you can,
31% complete.
We're talking about stakes in the ground.
well, I mean, in theory, you should be able to get a diagram of it, but at 30% complete, probably all they have is points on a data sheet.
Okay, so to move forward with this one, are we even set up to approve it? Sonia?
Item is discussion possible action.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Those are cheap.
So, yeah, you can-
Yeah, we
You can take out.
take that. I make a motion that we approve this first invoice from Myers Engineering.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the invoice of Myers Engineering. We have a second.
I'll second
Holder,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
And, I mean, I think part of that discussion is at a minimum, I do think we need to approve these invoices before that money is paid out to Myers. I mean, I think if we could appoint Stan to look at the invoice and determine if it should be sent on to Commerce, I think is fine. But-
yeah, that's what I was sitting here thinking about, just so, I mean, if I was Myers, I'd like, hey, what are these guys doing up here?
Yeah.
So, okay, based on what you're saying, if I look at this thing, it looks logical, and if Jeremy send it on to Commerce,
Right.
not to Myers. And then we will put it on our agenda
Before we actually pay Myers.
before, just like we did today. Good?
Yes.
You good, Todd? Oh,
Well, I was one who suggested putting Stan on there, so I'm not opposed to that stuff at
but I
all.
mean, that protocol of it.
Well, I think it needs to be on our minutes at some point. And I mean,
Agreed.
It'll be like.
Honestly, the only thing that concerns me at all is the auditing side of it for the grant process. And I don't want some small hiccup like this to
I don't
reflect
argue what you're saying.
negatively on the audit side.
Well, I would think, Shelley,
Mhm.
this would cover it.
I don't know how that side works with the state. I know like with the county, it's all approved before it's submitted for payment. Front to the, whenever I do any kind of,
The state,
the board approves the invoice and then I submit to the state,
Of course, you meet weekly.
right, to be able to be reimbursed.
Yeah.
So,
We
I don't know
kind
how.
of have, because we approved the contract
Exactly.
with
Right.
them. And so
Did.
that's basically, I'm thinking of it from a standpoint of, that's kind of like having a purchase order. We approve that contract and then we are
He's
just
working
approving
off
each
of that.
invoice.
when I was the one approving the neighborhood stabilization program with Department of Commerce, the people, like Kay, Freedom West was one, they would submit their invoice. We, at the state level, would make sure that everything that was being submitted was kosher to the grant and the awarded money. So that was our responsibility. And then we send it on, and it was the same OMBS, and then, we get the phone call.
Which they did on this one.
Yes.
They.
I mean, Jared approving it would be
Yes.
Jared saying, this is
Yes.
by the
This
book, so, yeah.
This is the
So-
correct use of funds.
Right.
Guaranteeing the work's been completed?
No, that's our job.
Well, that's what
No.
I was going to say.
Which probably makes more sense to.
Well, it's Myers' job to
But on our
guarantee that
stuff.
work's being completed.
It's our job to make sure work's being completed before it gets paid, though. Am I right? Am I
That
wrong?
could get dicey down the line.
Okay.
I mean, just like this, who's gonna go out there and, I mean, there's gotta be some trust involved. I mean, if we're building a building or something like that, well, we see things going up and it's easy. It'll be easier, and the survey is obviously probably one of the more difficult things to analyze. But when we start on the lagoon, there's gonna be work going on. Now, how that gets billed out, Scott, and who's gonna go out there and see, did they move this much dirt or that much dirt? You see what I'm getting at?
Well, this is all the stuff, I assume this surveying right here is for the stuff done at the wells. Is that what?
No.
Huh?
It's on the Haley property.
Well, I
But
thought-
it potentially could be there, anywhere from there to the well field.
Well, that's
Or the
true.
construction of that new line, I mean,
Because I thought that was, I'm sorry, I guess I thought that was the first procedure to get the water updated, get the wells fixed.
I think because he called me about getting clearance, it's like using a four-wheeler to go across that deal. So I thought, in my impression, I could be wrong, that was on this Haley deal.
Okay.
Let me look at that deal just one more time. I think this is good that we're trying to be thorough about this, Shelley.
I do too.
And we're new to it.
I think what Scott's saying, and I think it's a good idea, that if they do a survey, we get a copy of the survey, we put it with the file with the invoice. Or, like a lot of companies or, firms, they have a spreadsheet of what they did in that timely, and then that can be put with the invoice. And
I'm sure there's gonna be more than one survey involved in this whole project, whether it be at the well site, or whether it be at the Haley property, or whether it be on the,
Well, 31% of it is done, contracted amount, 68,000, bills, 21,000. So it says construction, staking, and surveying services. I'm gonna say that's on the Haley property.
okay.
And then that should be approved.
Okay, Jeremy, are you all right doing when we get the next bill, whatever you had to do with sending it to Commerce? I mean, I just,
Say how we go about mine. So that's
what we need
to figure out.
he didn't want me to submit it through the
Well,
program system. I'm not
yes.
doing anything extra with that. Just
right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, did this get emailed down there to them, or?
It just goes through their grant system. You go to the OK Grants, they have a process that you have to do to submit it. Because one of my close friends is the administrator of that system, I just call them and make sure it was done right. The first time around, of course, I could call them every time if I need to,
Okay. All right, I think we've got a
System.
system.
I'll put that in the minutes, so that you'll know your system.
Yeah,
Let her read them to make sure it's what you want before we approve the next.
well, the main cogs are gonna be Jeremy and Sonia.
Oh, I thought it was Jeremy and you. Yeah.
Sonia is gonna be the one paying the bill.
Right.
All I'm doing is.
She's doing whatever you tell her to do.
Oh, is that it right?
Hey, not to jump around, but, so on January 16th in the minutes, we have the two domains in there that we talked about.
Oh, they are?
We approved them, yes, they're avardindustrial.com, avardrailpark.com.
Thank you.
Jeremy, will you see what we need to do to purchase those, the process?
So-
You got it? You're on it.
I sent an email, on January 19th, said, "Hi Josh, it was decided by the rail park that they want to keep the avardindustrialpark.com, but none of the others. What is the process to transfer it over to Sonia so she can pay it? Appreciate the help on this." He replied, to me, "Do they want to keep all three or just one?" And then my last response to him was, "They just want to keep avardindustrialpark.com. That's as far, hadn't gone any further than that.
Okay.
That was his last response.
So you could reply to that email and say, hey,
I'll
yeah, I go with this.
I can reply back and say, did we get this taken care of? And I'll CC Sonia and Stan.
Didn't we talk about two more?
No, the motion was to discontinue those other two and just keep that one.
Okay. All right.
So basically this, in today's agenda, if he had got back to us, we could approve that, but we don't know what it cost or anything yet. Correct?
Right.
Right.
I think we did have something on that.
Well, now is Josh going to, is he just gonna tell us who to check with to find out?
Originally,
It was a whip.
Originally, he said he would help us do that.
he was gonna
Josh.
do that. Yeah, Wix, here's currently your plan was $324 plus applicable taxes. That was for all of them, I think. Or, no, it's just this for Avard avardindustrialpark.com. That's what's there. Back, that's when Josh says, this renews February 5th. I'm going to disable the auto renew today, as this typically bills a couple of weeks prior to the actual renewal date. Just let me know if you want to continue maintaining this. If so, I'll just need to know who is going to handle it, and I can get the ball rolling on transfer.
Here's where I think where a little bit of the confusion is. So what he's talking about is they launched a very simple website for us under that domain name. That $300 some would continue to have that page active.
Right.
So we either need to do that, or we can just keep the domain name for a small fee, and then that way when we're ready to launch a site, we have it. I don't think there's any reason to keep that.
That's
up
what-
and going. I actually think it may be worse to have it there than not have anything, because somebody's gonna go there and be like, oh, this feels janky. I mean, we'd be better off just buying the domain name, and then that way, when we do have a legitimate site, we can have it ready. Now, how do we go about buying that domain name? That's out of my bailiwick.
Yeah, so he had responded on January 14th. We actually bought 3 different domains for them and had our web designer build a landing page. That obviously hasn't been updated, but there is at least a presence on the web. I'll send you a list of everything when I'm back at the office. He didn't send that. And then that's when I told him that they decided just to keep the name.
Jeremy, what do you think about if we just, maybe we could ask Greg here at the tech center how we go about buying that domain name, if he could help us with that? Because I don't think we need that, the
Yep.
premium plan, we just need to purchase that domain name.
We want to keep avardindustrial.com domain and purchase the avardrealpark.com domain. So we want 2 domains?
And I don't think you'll rebuy it, I think you'll just transfer it
Just
to us.
discontinue the current.
And keep the avardindustrial.com domain and
Okay.
purchase.
It says,
You're right.
hi Jeremy.
Who made that?
Says Podium. But I don't know.
Says, he asked, do they want to keep the domain name but not the website and hosting plan, or keep all of that? My response was, they are just wanting to keep the domain name for now.
Yeah.
That's on the 23rd. And he responds, do they want to keep all 3 or just one? They just want to keep avardindustrialpark.com. And that's what was the last of the decision. So he might have just avardindustrialpark.com. That's been saved, but I'm guessing there's a very small bill for those. They're like $30-some usually.
I think that's why we decided to do all of them.
There's just 2.
Well, yeah, those 2.
So, do we have a plan, who's gonna do what?
You want
That's
me-
all I'm after.
Want me to email Josh and see if he did the one domain name?
They're available through Wix, so I'm saying he hasn't done anything.
Oh, he hasn't done
We
anything.
just need to
so-
figure out how to buy them.
Yeah, then we don't even need,
Give me a credit card.
You want me to do that? Is that what you're getting at?
No. I'm not saying that.
then I think what you
You
would
made the
want,
motion.
what you
Yeah.
want to do is just make a motion to have somebody reserve the domain name
Well, we,
and pay the bill. My guess.
we already made that motion to do that,
Yeah.
we just haven't done it.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
It's approved.
Yeah.
okay, you and Sonia are gonna get that together and
Whoever has the money.
Oh,
Whoever
yeah.
has the credit card.
okay, well,
We'll
I'm just,
figure it out.
We'll get it.
okay. We can report back, have it on the agenda for the next meeting, shall we, if there's any other things that,
I don't think you need.
I don't think there'll be anything
Okay.
to report. I think we'll just, I guess we can follow up, make sure it got done. That's about the only thing.
well,
If there is, Jeremy can bring it up in his report.
There you go.
okay, so we don't need a motion or anything at this time.
No.
We're ready to move off of 5.
Good.
Let's go to 6. Jeremy.
Well, I think we talked about the invoice process. The other things, I think, Stan, you wanted to discuss in executive session, correct?
Yes, I mean, I didn't know whether you wanted to, I mean, anything about, just the general, Lieutenant Governor Turkey.
Okay, yeah, I can talk about that. But you're all invited to the Lieutenant Governor's turkey hunt. Everybody who's in this room, only got confirmation from one, she's behind the camera. No, actually, I got declined from another, so.
Sorry.
But tell us the time, Jeremy, out there on Thursday night.
Well, I did send the invitation, at 6:30 on Thursday night at Sherrill Barn, which is formerly known as Baker Barn, is when the reception starts. It's like a 30-minute reception, so do what you will with that. 7 p.m. is when the dinner starts. The likelihood is Lieutenant Governor will be there around 7:30 to 8. Yeah, I can't predict that man, but yeah, he is a, don't put it that way in the newspaper.
There's several things.
But I can't predict that man, and what's, you know.
Go ahead and put it in there and we'll see if he reads the alphabet.
That would be good. You'll find
It'll be
out.
on the video.
Yeah. That's good. But that man, I can't predict him. And plus, you know, we don't use him Woodward before he's with us. So whatever is keeping him there.
So why don't you talk about our special guest that's gonna be there? As far as we're concerned that we talked about today, Jared.
Oh, well, so Jared Cooper will be there. Anybody who would like to talk to him or have any questions for him, we can try to just set up.
I'm just thinking he's about 6'7" or 6'8", I think he told me one time.
Yeah, he
You'll
is.
be looking up to him.
Yeah, he definitely will. Just a quick rundown, with the Lieutenant Governor's turkey hunt. Mallory Estes with BNSF will be there. Adam Rodriguez with Savage Company will be there. Joe Mathia with Martin Marietta will be there. There are other guests that, while they're not really requests or invites from Avard, that will be there. Troy Humphrey, who's a real estate consultant, he's been there. He's our only real repeat. The others are new. And Ryan Culp, who's with Retail Strategies, which is one that I'm interested in with Mayor Parker as well, wanting to visit with. And Bill Myers, our engineer, will be there as well. Those are the ones, the guests that we'll have. They are there Wednesday to Friday. And I think, Stan, we're going to talk more in executive session in regards of meetings with them and possibilities of that.
Okay. Jeremy's put a lot of time in on this, and he's got me informed. One other thing that you and Shelley worked out, which I think is going to be good, which we haven't had, I don't think, in the past. We're not going to have to worry about quorums.
We took care of getting that posted.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I really
It's
do,
on it.
because,
One
We've
is
done
in
that every year.
the building.
We've done that every year.
Yes.
oh, I apologize. I knew I was going to step into that.
No, I'm just assuring.
No one
No,
ever.
I was just assuring you guys that you have been covered earlier.
We got one here for this building, we got one for the Sherrill Barn, so if you go somewhere else, we can't help you.
So we met at K&S and had a clandestine meeting that only two of us, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Just don't do it now, because we need another board member.
Just saying, really make it look bad.
Okay, appreciated Sonia in the past and Shelley for this one. And because we're gonna have some meetings going on during the turkey hunt with potential clients. Okay, so, you finished, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay, on item 7, are we done there? We've got to, we will make a
I think so.
motion.
We're good on that.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to enter into executive session at this time?
See none?
We need to. Will you make the motion?
I don't know.
We've got some potential clients.
Oh, yeah, I'll second your motion.
Okay.
Holder,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.